What if I told you the signs were there all along, hidden in plain sight? A shift in morning routines, a subtle discomfort in conversation, an unspoken silence between longtime partners. If you're over 60, this could change how you see the next 10 years of your life. Because one of the most misunderstood, and frankly most quietly suffered, aspects of aging for men is erectile dysfunction, ED. And today, we're going to talk about it like never before. Not with shame, not with embarrassment, but with the dignity, truth, and clarity that every person deserves, especially in the second half of life. Let's start with a question most people are too afraid to ask. Why does something so natural, so tied to intimacy and love, begin to fade right when people need connection most? Erectile dysfunction is not just about sex. It's about relationships. It's about confidence. It's about health. It's about the small pieces of identity that can feel like they're slipping away when the body no longer works like it used to. For some men, it starts with occasional frustration. For others, it becomes a persistent problem. But for almost everyone, it becomes something they stop talking about. And that silence is where the damage begins. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what causes ED and how to treat it, you'll see it as part of a much larger story about aging, health, and emotional well-being. Because when we start having honest conversations about sexual health, we reclaim the power that silence steals. Erectile dysfunction is defined as the consistent inability to achieve or maintain an erection sufficient for satisfactory sexual performance. But that definition barely scratches the surface of what it feels like physically, emotionally, and relationally. It affects nearly 50% of men over the age of 50, and those numbers only rise as we age. And yet, despite how common it is, many men don't seek help. Why? Because they think it's a normal part of getting older, because they think nothing can be done, or worst of all, because they feel ashamed. But here's the truth. ED is not just a natural part of aging. It's a signal, a sign from the body that something else might be going on under the surface. Let's talk about causes, because understanding what leads to ED is the first step to finding solutions. There are physical causes, psychological causes, and sometimes a bit of both. Physically, ED is often a blood flow issue. Erections require good circulation, and as we age, arteries can become narrowed due to atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes are key contributors. These conditions damage blood vessels, including those that supply the penis. So when circulation slows down, so does everything else. Hormones also play a role. Testosterone levels naturally decline with age. And while low testosterone alone doesn't always cause ED, it can reduce libido, energy, and confidence, creating a domino effect that impacts sexual performance. Then there's nerve function. Men with conditions like multiple sclerosis or Parkinson's disease often face challenges due to nerve damage. Surgeries, especially for prostate cancer, can also interrupt the nerve pathways needed for erections. And let's not forget the side effects of medications. Many prescriptions for high blood pressure, depression, anxiety, and even antihistamines can interfere with sexual function. And yet, for all the physical reasons, the mind plays an equally powerful role. Anxiety, depression, stress, and relationship conflict can all lead to or worsen ED. It becomes a cycle. Fear of failure leads to performance anxiety, which leads to more failure. And before long, sex becomes something to avoid rather than something to enjoy. But here's where hope enters the conversation, because ED is not a one-way road. And more importantly, it is treatable. In many cases, it's reversible. And in every case, it's manageable. Let's talk about treatments. And not just pills, but the full spectrum of options. Yes, medications like Viagra, sildenafil, Cialis, tadalafil, Levitra, vardenafil, and Stendra, abanafil are well-known and effective. They work by increasing blood flow to the penis, by relaxing the muscles in blood vessel walls. They don't cause automatic arousal, but they make it easier for arousal to result in an erection. These drugs are not without side effects. Some men experience headaches, nasal congestion, indigestion, or vision changes. And they're not for everyone. especially men taking nitrates for heart disease. But for many, they are a game changer. But medication is just one part of the picture. Lifestyle changes can be even more powerful. Exercise is one of the most effective natural treatments for ED. Regular physical activity improves circulation, boosts testosterone, reduces stress, and enhances overall energy. Even a 30-minute brisk walk 5 times a week can make a significant difference. Weight management matters too. Obesity is a major risk factor for ED, especially belly fat, which is hormonally active and contributes to inflammation and insulin resistance. A healthy diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, supports vascular health. The Mediterranean diet, in particular, has shown promising results in improving erectile function. Quitting smoking is critical. Smoking damages blood vessels and reduces nitric oxide, a chemical that helps erections occur. The longer you smoke, the greater the damage. But the good news is, quitting at any age begins to reverse that damage. Alcohol in moderation may help lower inhibitions, but excessive alcohol interferes with nerve signals and hormone production. Finding that balance is key, especially as we age. Sleep is another overlooked factor. Poor sleep lowers testosterone, increases stress hormones, and contributes to fatigue. Sleep apnea, which is common in older adults, is linked to ED. Treating it can improve both sleep and sexual health. Then there's mental health. Therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT), can help men reframe negative thoughts about sex, build confidence, and reconnect with their partners. In couples therapy, both partners can explore communication, expectations, and emotional intimacy. Sometimes, intimacy itself needs redefining, because sex is not just about penetration. It's about connection, physical closeness, laughter, exploration. Intimacy can flourish even when erections are no longer easy or predictable. And many couples discover deeper levels of satisfaction when they move beyond the pressure of performance. Midway through this conversation, I want to ask, has this opened your eyes to something you hadn't considered? If you've seen this in your own life or in someone you love, leave a comment. Share your story, even anonymously, because we break shame by breaking silence. But there's one sign almost no one talks about, and it's the most important of all. When ED appears suddenly or gets dramatically worse, it can be a warning sign of heart disease, because the same narrowed blood vessels that affect the penis are affecting the heart. Some cardiologists call ED the canary in the coal mine for cardiovascular health. In fact, ED can precede a heart attack by several years. So it's not just about sex, it's about survival. This is why no man should ever ignore ED. It's a reason to talk to a doctor. It's a reason to get a full checkup. Blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, hormone levels, all of it. Because that one symptom could be the body's way of crying out for help. And if you're a partner watching this, know that your support makes all the difference. Shame thrives in silence, but healing thrives in love. Encourage open conversation. Be patient. Be understanding. This is not about blame. It's about rediscovery. There are also medical devices like vacuum erection pumps, which create an erection by drawing blood into the penis and using a constriction ring to maintain it. Penile implants are a surgical option for severe cases involving inflatable or semi-rigid rods that allow for controlled erections. These options may sound extreme, but for many men, they restore not just sexual function, but self-esteem. And there's even new research on regenerative medicine. Platelet-rich plasma, PRP, injections, stem cell therapy, and low-intensity shockwave therapy are being explored for their potential to repair damaged tissues and improve blood flow. These are still in early stages, but show promise. And here's the twist. You might think this is just about men, but when men suffer in silence, so do their partners. So do their relationships. When we talk about ED, we're really talking about aging with dignity, about not giving up on joy, about not letting age steal intimacy or connection. So what's the takeaway? It's not just that ED is common, it's that it's meaningful. It's a message from the body. It's a chance to tune in, not shut down, to seek support, not hide, to treat it, not tolerate it. We all age, but how we age is up to us. It starts with information, with honesty, with courage. If this reminded you of someone, share it with a friend. You never know who needs to hear it. Leave a comment if you've seen this in your own family. We need to talk about this more. And follow at Aging Gracefully 60 for more conversations that matter. Because aging isn't the end of intimacy. It's the beginning of a new kind.